Let's talk about suicide. I know you might be wondering, why do you want to talk about suicide and why now? And I will answer these questions in this video. I will also be talking about what can be done and what are my personal experiences. And at the end I might have documentary recommendation for you. So let's start with the video. But first, if you happen to click on this video because you have suicidal thoughts, let me read something for you that I find on a website that you should check out. The website is helpguide.org. And this is what they say. If you're feeling suicidal, you may be afraid that you'll be judged or labeled crazy if you open up, or that no one could possibly understand. Concerned friends and family members may hesitate to speak up for fear that they are wrong or might say the wrong thing. However, talking openly about suicidal thoughts and feelings can save a life. Feeling suicidal means that a person has more pain than they feel capable of coping with. Help is available. Don't wait. Reach out. I did some research about statistics for suicide, and I found something by the government of the United States of America, and it is by the National Center for Health Statistics. I will put a link in the description. In 2016, they published the National Vital Statistics Report, and they updated it in 2017. And these are the numbers for 2014. Suicide was the second leading cause of death for age group 10 to 24. The second leading cause, with 17.4% of deaths. And the fourth leading cause for age group 25 to 44, with 11.2% of deaths. In contrast, it was the eighth leading cause for those aged 45 to 64, with 3.1%, and was not among the 10 leading causes for the population aged 65 and above. So this means that suicide is not only but very much a problem for young people. The same statistic shows for 2010 that suicide was the third leading cause with 11%. In contrast, in 2014 it was 17% for the age group 10 to 24, which means it is a growing problem. And this answers your question, why do you want to talk about suicide? The top 3 causes of people aged 10 to 24 are accidents, suicide and homicide, and make up for 70.7% of all deaths. And they are, by definition, preventable. Suicide is preventable. But this is just a statistic. But behind this, there are actual people who have actually died. And if you look closely into each case, we would most likely find something that could have been done to prevent this tragedy. And I say most likely because I know you cannot save everybody. And even if the people around the person did everything, it still happens. But I will talk about this a little bit more in my documentary recommendation. Another reason why I want to talk about this now is because I've been affected by suicide twice this year. And I haven't talked about this online and not really much offline because I needed a little bit more space, a little bit distance from all of this. The first time this year was when I was in America and I was at the Walk of Fame in Hollywood. And just when we happened to pass the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, someone jumped off the balcony. Pretty much just in front of us. And I'm very thankful to Ken that he pushed me around, so I didn't have to see it. But hearing it and thinking about it was just enough for me. It was a guy, I don't really know, he was pretty young. I know, probably in his early 20s, so he would fit in the statistics of the young people. I don't know anything about his background or why he did it. There are rumors, but I don't care about those. Fact is that he jumped. And I didn't even know him, but still it had a huge impact on me. The second time this year was someone I knew pretty well. It was a friend of mine who I had known online for 7 years, more than 7 years. And we had been texting and chatting via social medias for all these 7+ years. And he became a good friend of mine. And he thought of me as a good friend as well, because he sent me a suicide note only 30 minutes before he killed himself. Nightyyou, I want to personally thank you for being such a good internet friend over the last 8 years. You've always been so inspirational to me throughout my YouTube career, and I owe you my personal thanks for being so supportive of what I do. I always enjoyed your music, and I felt it necessary to use one of your songs in my final video. Unfortunately, by the time you read this, I'll be dead. I wish things could have continued for years to come, but sadly it's my time to go. I'll never forget you, man, ever. Even though we lived overseas, I still considered you a friend. You were always there, through thick and thin. You never let me down. Sadly, it's time for me to go. I hope you continue to touch the souls of others, just like you were able to touch mine. Thank you. And the impact that this had on me was immense. A lot of things were just too overwhelming. Obviously, I was thinking about what could I have done? What hints did he give? Where could I have said or done something to prevent this? And it's still something that I carry around with me every day. And I pretty much think of him almost every day. After this happened, I thought a lot about my internet activities and about the people I know on the internet and on social media. And I tried to find a way to change how I deal with people. And my immediate reaction was that I would back off almost everybody and try not to get involved too much emotionally. But I realized that's not what I wanted. Because nobody should be left alone or left behind. And I don't want to be the person who leaves them alone. So what I changed then is, whenever I see someone on the internet, on my contacts, on my social medias, saying something like, oh, I'll kill myself, or I hate my life, or I want to die, I will reply to them. I will ask them, hey, what's up? Are you okay? What's wrong? Just simple questions to show that I care, that there's someone who cares. Even if they don't really want to kill themselves, but who knows? Showing that you care does not hurt. It might help. And now I'm looking ahead. And again, I want to read something that I found that Alicia Van Orman wrote. She is a research associate at the Population Reference Bureau. And she wrote, the recent decline in the overall teenage death rate shows that the United States is making progress in keeping children safe from harm. Yet the rise in suicide rates represents a significant and growing public health threat and requires action. Suicide prevention strategies include depression, suicide awareness programs, expanded access to mental health services, and programs that support vulnerable populations such as Native American teenagers, teenagers struggling with gender and sexual identity, and those with mental health or substance abuse problems. These troubling trends should serve as a reminder to health practitioners, hotline workers, and the public that teenage suicide risk should be taken seriously. Expanding mental health and other social and strengthening social connections with at-risk teenagers can help prevent these deaths. So she says, health practitioners, social workers, and the public should take it seriously. And who is the public? You. You are the public. You can make a difference. Suicide is preventable. But how? And again, I want to show you this website, helpguide.org, where they talk about a lot of mental issues that people face, and they show you a way to help. And one of it is suicide prevention. A suicidal person may not ask for help, but that doesn't mean that help isn't wanted. People who take their lives don't want to die. They just want to stop hurting. Suicide prevention starts with recognizing the warning signs and taking them seriously. If you think a friend or family member is considering suicide, you might be afraid to bring up the subject. But talking openly about suicidal thoughts and feelings can save a life. Just let the person know that you care, that you listen, and that you're there for them. And it's not often important what you say, but it's your voice and it's your manner that shows them that you care. And no matter how negative a conversation seems, the fact that it exists is a positive sign. Don't judge. Be calm, patient, and accepting. Finally, I want to give you a documentary recommendation. That's a documentary that I have watched about a year ago, and it's called Boy Interrupted. It follows the life of a teenage boy who killed himself. They've been following his life from early childhood unto his final days, and he expressed his wish to die very, very early in his life. And everybody knew about it. Everybody knew he had these mental issues. And everybody tried to help him. His family, his friends, like the state officials. Everybody tried to make him feel better and to keep him from doing what he was talking about. And that's why I said that almost everybody can be saved. This boy apparently could not. It happened anyway. It's a very good documentary, and I suggest you watch it. Thanks for watching this video. As I said, if you have suicidal thoughts, seek help. Or send me a direct message here on YouTube. Or if you know someone who might be suicidal, check helpguide.org and try to help. Thank you.